The only thing this system fears more than a black man with a weapon is a black man with a vision, and the absolute will to give everything for it. Hello, beautiful people from Africa and across the ocean. Welcome back to the table. Today, we are not retelling history. We are performing an autopsy on the American nightmare. We are going back to August 1831, the suffocating summer of Virginia. The moment the mask slipped, the moment the lie cracked. We are talking about Brother Nat Turner. If you were taught that this is just a story about a slave revolt or a massacre, understand this clearly. You were fed the diet of the oppressor. They want you to focus on the axe so you never study the mind. They want you to stare at the blood so you never see the spirit. This was not just a physical conflict, it was a psychological detonation. It shattered the greatest lie the slave system ever told itself, that we were happy, that we were loyal, that we were broken. Nat Turner proved that behind the bowed head and forced smile was a disciplined, calculating consciousness waiting for the right moment to move. Get comfortable. This is a serious conversation. To understand the terror, you must understand the delusion. By 1830, the slaveholder had convinced himself that Africans were children, large, simple-minded beings who needed a master to survive. They told themselves we were better off in chains. They told themselves we were grateful. They told themselves we were loyal. They manufactured caricatures to make this lie believable. The mammy, the Uncle Tom, the smiling, obedient Negro. This was not entertainment. It was psychological armor. Because if they ever admitted even for a moment that the man shaving their throat with a razor or the woman cooking their meals was a captured warrior who despised them, they would never sleep again. So they slept, wrapped in the warm illusion of white supremacy. But while they slept, a man in Southampton County was wide awake. Nat Turner was not who they said he was. The history written by those who executed him calls him a madman, a fanatic. The record says something else. Nat Turner was a genius. In a world engineered to suffocate black intellect, he taught himself to read and write. He mastered theology. He studied the patterns of nature. He was a scientist of the spirit. The elders saw the signs early. They knew he was marked. Even the white people around him respected him in the condescending way one respects a dangerous talent they think they controlled. They let him preach. They let him travel. They believed Christianity was a leash. They forgot something. The same Bible that says slaves, obey your masters, also tells the story of Moses drowning Pharaoh's army. The Bible is not a book of submission. It is a book of fire, judgment, and liberation. Nat Turner did not read their Bible. He read his, and he decided the era of pleading had ended. Let us destroy the myth that this was random rage. As Dr. John Henrik Clark taught us, rebellions are engineered. This was strategy. Nat Turner planned for months, possibly years. He formed a disciplined inner circle. Hark, Henry, Sam, Nelson, men capable of silence in a world where walls listened, understand what that requires. To walk past the man who brutalized your mother and not scared, to smile at the overseer who sold your child and not move yet, that is not weakness. That is military discipline. Nat was not moving on human time. He was moving on divine time. February 1831. A solar eclipse. The sun darkens. The slaveholder saw weather. Nat Turner saw a message. He waited. August 1831. The sun turns a strange blue-green. The seal was broken. On the night of August 21st, they moved. No guns, too loud. They used the tools of labor. The instruments that built the master's wealth became instruments of judgment. From Turner's revolutionary framework, this was total war not against individuals, but against a system that reproduced itself through generations. For 48 hours, they tasted freedom. For 48 hours, the illusion collapsed. When the news spread, the South did not simply react with anger. They panicked. Why? Because Nat Turner was one of the good ones. If the preacher could rebel, if the literate one could rebel, if the trusted one could rebel, then no one was safe. This is why this revolt haunted America. Not because of numbers, but because of betrayal of the lie. Dr. Amos Wilson called this the paranoia of the thief. When everything you own is stolen land, labor, bodyzoo, live, knowing the rightful owner will return. Nat Turner was that return. And the South realized it was sitting on a powder keg. Now pay attention. This is where history becomes the present. The retaliation was savage. Nat Turner was executed. His body was mutilated. Hundreds of innocent black people were murdered to reassert control, but the real response was legal. Before 1831, Virginia debated ending slavery. After Nat Turner, that conversation ended permanently. They passed the slave codes. Reading and writing were criminalized. Why? Because an educated black mind had revealed itself as a weapon. Black gatherings were banned. Black preachers were restricted. And they created the slave patrols, the paddy rollers, armed white civilians authorized to stop, search, and terrorize black bodies. Family, look closely. The slave patrol is the blueprint of modern policing. When a black man is stopped for existing in the wrong space, that is Southampton County echoing forward. The fear did not disappear. It was institutionalized. Nat Turner was not an anomaly. He was part of a global rhythm. Decades earlier, Haiti shattered the impossible. They did not revolt. They won. They defeated Napoleon. They formed the first Black Republic. The fear of another Haiti haunted the Americas. Whether Turner knew the details or not, he tapped into the same ancestral current, the spirit of Bauchman, of Dessalines, Virginia, Haiti, Kenya, Brazil. One struggle, different battlegrounds. To the Christians listening, the version of Christianity given to us was designed to sedate. Turn the other cheek. Your reward is later. Nat Turner rejected that theology. He practiced liberation theology before it had a name. He understood that a God of justice cannot coexist with slavery. James Cone taught us plainly, if your religion does not demand the liberation of your people, you are not worshipping God, you are worshipping power. Spiritual conviction paired with moral certainty is unstoppable. You cannot bribe it. You cannot intimidate it. Why does 1831 still matter in 2026? Because the fear never left. Why are books being banned? Why is Black history under attack? Why is truth labeled dangerous? Because knowledge creates Nat Turners. When people understand how a system was built, they stop respecting it. The reaction to 2020 revealed this clearly. They did not see protest. They saw memory. Same script, different century. I am not telling you to pick up weapons. The terrain has changed, but I am telling you to inherit the spirit. Silence and strategy. Education as warfare. Economic cooperation. Psychological discipline. The most powerful thing Nat Turner destroyed was fear, and a people without fear cannot be ruled. Nat Turner's story is not a tragedy, it is a prophecy. You can shackle hands. You cannot shackle consciousness. They executed him, yet here we are speaking his name. Because he stood, the system is counting on your passivity, on your distraction. Wake up, the eclipse is happening. Stand tall, move with dignity, and never let them see you tremble. I love you, I value you. Stay dangerous.